What is up, guys? It is Samool here, back with another hero preview, and today we're going to be previewing one of the most anticipated units of the year, and that is going to be ML Cermia, otherwise known as Lionheart Cermia. Now, we should expect this banner to run right after ML Violet or Violet's banner ends, and just by looking at this unit, I really love her artwork. Her animations look insane, and you're going to see from her kit that it looks pretty fun to use, nothing too toxic like some recent ML5s that we've had released. I'm not going to name any names, but one of them starts with Conqueror and ends with Lilias, right? And we're going to take a look. So this is her S3 animation. As you can see, this looks insane, like something straight out of an anime. The animation on this S3, as you can see, is pretty cool, and it must have taken a lot of time. So I'm really excited for this unit right off the bat because of her design and because of her animations. And yeah, she has some nice legs. Let's just get that out of the way. I know everyone's been talking about it, but yeah, it is true. And you can see, I mean, this is all the lore. We're not going to really look into it too much because if you guys want to look at the lore, then you guys can check out the Epic 7 official video because this is on the Epic 7 YouTube, as you can see. Now you can see that her expressions are here, right? This is her S3 animation again. Okay, let's skip to her skills and her stats. So this is ML Cermia, Lionheart Cermia. So you can see that she is still a warrior, much like regular Cermia. She is a light unit, so most people thought she would be dark, but she's actually light, which is kind of cool. If you look at her design, it doesn't really say that she's light or dark just from the artwork, but I guess she's a light unit for balancing reasons. And then you'll see that her base speed is not too insane, but it's still pretty high for a warrior. Pretty similar to Conqueror Lilias, a bit slower, I think. I'm not too sure on that. You'll also see that she has effect resist built into her awakening, so that kind of foreshadows that she's going to be some sort of cleanser unit or a tankier warrior unit, which is kind of what Smilegate really wants nowadays. My voice just cracked. But in the past, when the game first started up, a lot of warriors were built a lot squishier, and they kind of fell out of the meta really quick because warriors need to be tank, because that just made warriors need a lot of stats, right? That's what I'm trying to say. But nowadays, when Smilegate releases warriors, they're trying to make them more on the tanky side or like on the supportive side, and DPS units are going to be rangers and thieves and mages, as you'll see. So warriors are going to be kind of like a support role, I think, for the near future. And you'll see that she is decently tanky. Her defense is insanely high. Her health is pretty decent as well. She's very tanky. Her attack is okay for warriors, and her speed is nice as well. And you'll see that she has a good amount of effect resist, and her imprint concentration on herself is going to be crit chance, one of the best concentration imprints you can have in the game, because crit chance is really annoying to get. So you'll see that these are her base stats. I think her stats look really good. She's probably going to be some kind of supportive cleansing unit or buffer. And let's get into her S2. So the S2 is a passive, and you'll see that she uses a fighting spirit mechanic. So you get 40 at the start of battle, similar to Landy getting 50 at the start of battle base. And whenever an ally suffers an extra attack, a counter attack, or dual attacks, this will work on counter sets, Elbrus, right? It'll work on Politis S2. It'll work on Belian's S1 proccing, right? What will happen is you cleanse yourself completely and you activate Shine. So Shine is really nice because this is going to give you increased defense and effect resist and give you 50 more fighting spirit. So you only need 10 more to reach that 100 cap. And you have to realize this will only be activated every 3 turns after you Moola this. So the skill, let's look at the animation real quick. I'm going to skip to the animation. So they actually showcase Politis here. So you see Politis S2s after someone uses skill, and then you'll see that this procs right away. It's regular Cermia's animation, and she gets the buffs, cleanses herself, and she, takes her turn because she's fast enough. Next, you'll see that her S3 is going to be an Aoe Attack. This will consume 80 fighting spirit, so if you actually proc your S2, you'll be able to use this right away. And you'll see that this is an Aoe Attack that gives you an extra turn. It'll also penetrate defense by 50%, and we all know how OP penetration is. Okay, that sounded really wrong, but you know what I mean. Penetrating defense in this game is broken, and you'll see the damage dealt increases proportional to the caster's defense, which is really nice because she gets a defense buff on herself after activating her S2, if you remember. And also her base defense is really high, so she's going to have a lot of defense. Now the animation on this, guys, as you guys saw in the beginning, is sick. Let's look at it once again. Her hair lights up, and then she runs in and just blows everything up. Looks pretty insane. You'll see that she's running on Portrait of Saviors in the video here, which is a artifact from Guilty Gear. And what happens is it just boosts her damage, right? So you'll see that she's doing 10k, 11k, 12k, and these units are not squishy units by any means. This Politis is very tanky. She probably has 20k HP here because she only took half of her HP bar. you'll see that Violet, Mediator Cowric, and Belian usually have a lot of bulk, and you'll see with that penetration that she does so much damage, so she's going to be one-shotting squishy teams with this. So that makes me think that she's going to be sort of like an anti-cleave unit, and I think the reason Smilegate is releasing this is because the new unit, Peyra, and then we also have Ran, who's really OP right now, and just cleave in general is pretty strong in the current meta. I think because they expect cleave to be even stronger with Peyra coming out and Cerise's banner running, which is probably going to happen, cleave will be very strong. They decided to make ML Cermia an anti-cleave unit, and to be honest, even if you draft her in a non-cleave situation, she's actually pretty strong because you can see penetration on defense is very strong, and Fighting Spirit is pretty nice to have on units because it makes it so that your S3 has no cooldown. So if you just generate Fighting Spirit very fast, you'll be able to use your S3 over and over, similar to how Ravi's S3 works, right? So very strong unit in that regard. She looks very tanky, and you'll see that her HP, it's kind of hidden by the text here at the bottom, is at 12k. So you'll see that people are going to run her on like super high defense and speed, it looks like, as an answer to cleave. Now our S1 is just a basic attack that increases speed. Now speed buff is very strong because obviously you can cycle turns faster, and it's really nice because you'll be able to generate more Fighting Spirit and be able to activate more S3s because you saw that her S3 is insanely strong. Now this will also scale with your defense, so expect her to do a lot of damage. And if you soul burn this for 10 souls only, it'll do even more damage. So I think that she'll be a very, very solid DPS unit looking at this. And because she scales with defense, she's going to be very, very bulky. Now, what is the problem with units that scale with defense, right? So the problem with the units that scale with defense is that you're going to get defense broken, and then all that defense goes to waste, and you're going to get one shot, right? But the thing is, she has that effect resist built into her S2, so it'll make her a lot harder to strip and defense break. And if you do put her on a like 100% effect resist build, which should be easy because you get 30% effectiveness from Awakenings, as you saw from her stats, and you get 50% from the buff. I think it's 50%, right? You only need to add 20% more onto her gear, and she'll be at 100%, so she'll be able to resist a lot of the defense breaks on DPS units. Now let's look at her S1 damage again real quick. I kind of glanced over that really fast, but 5.8k with the defense buff up, which should be up, right? And that is without soul burn, so that's actually pretty decent. I expected soul burn, this should do about almost 10k, so you can almost one-shot squishies with this. So this unit, just by looking at her damage, she looks pretty insane as a damage dealer. She has cleansing on herself, which makes her very self-sustainable. She's very tanky, her speed is decent for a warrior, and you'll probably be able to use her on like Border Coin because of her S2. You'll be able to use her in Portrait if you want to one-shot cleave teams. And you'll see at the bottom here that she's going to be available from February 3rd, so she's actually very soon. I know for sure I'm going to pull for her, guys. She looks very fun, and the reason why I like this unit is because she doesn't seem like toxic. She doesn't look like she's going to be super OP like Belian, Angel of Light, Conqueror Lilias, right? I think because Smilegate has been releasing super OP units, they kind of decided to dial back a bit. But this is a really good option because I think she is a very good answer to cleave, because there's going to be a lot of cleave players running around with Peyra and Ran in the current meta. And also she looks okay by herself because she has penetration defense, so that means she's very good against bruiser teams as well, because she'll be able to do a lot of damage. And also she has a lot of self-sustainability with her cleansing and her defense buff and effect resist buff. And if the meta does change into like a bruiser meta again, you can actually run her with like Sigurd's Scythe, right? She'll be fine as well, and she'll be able to sustain herself as well. She has that speed buff for herself to cycle very fast, so she seems like a very fun unit. I think she's very balanced. I don't think she's like super OP or strong, don't get me wrong, but I know I'm definitely pulling for her because she does seem a little bit above average, and her design looks insane. So yeah, that's pretty much it for my Lionheart Cermia preview, guys. If you guys want to see more of these hero previews, whether it be 5-star MLs, new 5-star units, or even 3-star units that get released, let me know down in the comments down below. And as always, a like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps my channel out a lot, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.